broadcasting from the North End. This is Shut Up, Do Something. I'm Ben Aubin, and today I'd really like to discuss the difference between symbolism and building infrastructure. So, starting on August 1st, we're going to be having these reoccurring Monday meetings down underneath the St. John's Bridge over in Cathedral Park. And one of the main points of discussion that is going to be there is basically, how do we move away from what folks used to call sort of like armchair revolutionaries? It's the idea of how do we remove ourselves from the idea of activism, from the idea of being representatives for people, from the idea of spending so much of our time on Facebook trying to change hearts and minds, from the idea that if just enough of us get out into the street and protest, some kind of change is going to happen, when after decades of doing this, no change has happened. What we'd like to start talking about here on the North End is basically, for the sake of my friends who are unable to attend these sort of symbolic salons because they have kids. Maybe they're a felon. Maybe they work 60 hours a week because there was a no-call, no-show. These are folks who can't come out to these sort of symbolic protests and mass marches and sit-ins and so forth because they have too much on the line to risk for something like that. So what we'd like to discuss doing is building infrastructure so that people can actually start experimenting with these sort of collaborative models at work as a means of learning how they might work in society. And so I think one of the first ways that we need to do this is by discovering what it means for folks on the North End to start creating businesses as a means for combating gentrification. And this sounds like an oxymoron for anarchists, but I think that investing in capitalism's obsolescence might be one of our only ways forward, considering the fact that there are so few autonomous areas left for us to actually be able to exist within and create space for ourselves. So the notion of us creating businesses, of course, has to have some kind of an overarching anarchist theme in order for us to be able to accommodate social change at the same time as personal change. And this is one of the things that I think I am most excited to discuss coming up at these meetings. I look forward to seeing you there, and I hope all of us can come up with some really creative solutions to these problems that we are all sharing today.